Hey Kerbal Space fans, this is Raw with a new series of videos. So I decided I'm going to do is I'm going to make a SSTO, or better yet, an interplanetary SSTO is what I'm going to make. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to see if I can break this up in, well, probably it's going to be about 3 or 4 parts. Part 1, of course, is going to be design. Part 2 is going to be testing. Part 3 is going to be the actual mission. So let's get right to it. Of course, we're going to want a single atomic rocket because that's very efficient. And of course, we're going to need a crap ton of fuel, so we're probably going to make it 3 wide. And we of course need just jet fuel because it's atmospheric too. This one being so heavy, it's going to be an air hog. It's going to have double turbojets. And the air hogging, what it's going to do is it's going to let it go really high into the atmosphere. I'm going to leave this slightly behind. I know, it doesn't hurt to make it a little bit longer. And of course, this is not strong enough by itself. Don't want nothing wobbling. And it of course needs some fuel crossfeed. I like to remove the angle snap when I'm doing the fuel lines and the stretch usually. I want to be able to put it wherever I want. Okay, so that's the basics there. It's going to be heavy, so I'm going to want to put the landing gear sort of frontwards, but not so frontward that I blow my engines off when I take off. Let's do it there. And one on the nose. That's looking pretty good. Now I'm not going to do the traditional thing and put a canard in the nose and then the wings in the back. What I think I'm going to do with this one is I'm going to put canards in the back, kind of like an F-14. 2 of them, of course. I should put them like lower and angle them up as far back as I can. And let's put these on the outside and angle them up. I'll show you in a few why I'm doing it that way. Okay, that shouldn't be too bad. Now before I continue with that, let's do the intakes. I did already say it was an air hog, so let's hog it up. Now normally with a plane like this I'd put them here on the side, but I don't want to do that. I'm going to put them here on the top and run them all the way down this line. The reason why mostly is, since I'm not putting a canard in the front, I want something to, at high speeds, help me pick the nose up. The air intakes cause drag, and the drag, if the intakes are above the center of mass, should help pull the plane up. See how that looks. Ugly, but it'll work. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 9, 10, 12. 14, let's see if I can get another set. And 16. There it is. As is usual, I'm going to put at least one set of control wheels just in case. As usual, symmetry doesn't work. Okay. Now, believe it or not, for double engines and the altitudes I want and speeds I want, 14, 16 intakes isn't enough. So let's put some on the bottom too. This will also be kind of a counterbalance. I don't want it to pull up too hard because of all the intakes in the top. Okay, so there's the hoses. I should move those hoses up. Not to mention they're in crappy position. So from there to there. And from there back. There we go. Okay, so now I can put on some more air hogging. I don't want these angles snapped. Okay. Put them on the outside. Is that around the same? It's not messing with the hoses. Yeah, that's good. Okay. So I'm going to put on the bottom 2, 4. Wait a minute. 4, 6. So I can fit one more before it hits that strut. There it is. These are way too on top of each other. But I think this one's too far back anyway. Ah. These are always little difficulties in designing these weird planes. I'll try it one more time to get another one in there, but I'm not going to fight it too much. That's not bad. There's 8. Okay, good. 8 on the bottom, 16 on the top, 2 on the front. Does it look good? No. Does it work? Hope so. Okay, so wings. We're going to want big lifty wings. So let's start designing a compound wing. This one I'm not going to go with a small triangular part, and then I'm gonna go with a big one. I'll work this right into the middle of it, and then twist it back. And the thing is, the lift rating on the wings, I don't believe, correct me if I'm wrong, anybody, is affected by their overlap. They don't actually measure the surface area. So the fact that I have these two together gets me as much lift as if there were like one literally stuck on by the other. But it looks better and it's easier to hold together if they're overlapping like that, and I don't lose any lift for it. So that's why I do this. Now we're going to put a control surface on it. Angle it out a little bit. Now a lot of this is going to be under the plane, so I'm probably going to just want to put one of these little guys here. There we go. Okay, so let's see. Center of mass. And I probably want to stick this to the main fuselage here. No, how about here? I don't want them crossed. Let's see. Looks pretty good. However, I am missing that lift in the front. Call me a cheater all you want, guys. But we're going to put some of these bad boys here. Not nearly as much as the tanker, but just enough to balance this. Turn green, please. What about up here then? It's a little bit better. Should get off the ground okay. Now, this one doesn't need any RCS because it's not going to dock. It doesn't have a docking port. It's not going to refuel. Should just fly us into space and then fly around. Now here is one thing I am going to do though. This is the reason why I wanted to keep this back part clear. And I'll talk about this as I'm talking about the mission profile. What I'm hoping I can do, you know, fuel permitting, right, is fly this around Duna, drop off like a little satellite payload, and then go land on Ike. Plant a flag, and then come back. It's going to make it a lot easier to do that if there are landing legs on the back of this so I can land straight up and down. I'm going to see what the clearance is like over here. It's pretty good. Just for stability's sake, I'm going to angle them out. And I'm going to put another set on top. Okay. It should work. Alright. We're pretty close to being ready to go here. The last thing I'm going to do in this video is I am going to do the action grouping. So let's do this. First and foremost, staging, of course, is going to be the rocket. Gear, we're going to remove the legs. We want just the wheels. Number 1 is going to be the turbojets. Number 2 is going to be these front two by themselves. And number 3 is going to be boring. Let's do this. This is why I don't like making air hogs. This is one of those jobs that nobody likes doing. The other one is staging when you're making weapons. Those are my two least favorite activities in Kerbal Space Program. Okay. After you do one of those, if you want to check, just run your mouse down it and it lights them all up in series. So you can see if there's any gaps. No gaps. Alright, let's go to the bottom. And number 4 is going to be the landing legs. So let's lower those, let's lower these. So last thing, well, I already said I was going to do the last thing on this video. I'm going to rename it and I'm going to make sure it gets off the ground. Interyplanetary. Let's see if it gets off the ground and I'll cut the video there because it's already 15 minutes. I'm really trying to not make any videos past 15 minutes. They're just too long for people to watch. So let's see. 0 throttle. Let's computer controls, lights. Those are working great. Alright, the engine's working great. Okay. Let's see if she lifts off. Come on, you can do it. No, I had to go all the way to the end of the runway. But she's flying. Okay, let's take that back to the drawing board a little bit. I don't want to have to do it that way. Just as a matter of pride. And let's move these forward just a little bit. So not enough to hit him on the ground. The other thing I wasn't thinking about is power. This thing's going to be floating in space forever. Needs some electricity. Let's try to save as much mass as we can. Make these on here. I'm really afraid I'm going to hit that. This or this on the ground. Let's try it one more time. See if I can pull up. Whoa, I had to really put that under the air carefully. There we are, okay then. Yeah, it's very easy to lose control of too. Ouch. I'm glad that was a computer simulation. Nobody was really harmed in the making of that. So I'm going to cut this video here, and I will keep filming them little by little. So this is my craft that's going to take me to where I need to go. Anyway, for now, this is Raw, reminding you to fly safe, not like me.